So here we go. This is that internal nut on the Dana 44 that has the pin. All kinds of little tools sitting on my table here. See that little pin? Right there. That pin's supposed to be sticking out just a little bit. You know what I could use actually? I could use this universal joint roller that I busted yesterday. I'm not a fan of changing U-joints. You gotta slide it together just right. And one of the pins slipped out because I didn't hold it right. But maybe I could use a U-joint. I used a piece of coat hanger the last time, but I could use one of these little roller guys. No, I think it's too big. Too big. But what I'm going to do with this one, and I got a head cam, I'm not sure where the mount is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push it out slightly so that it'll engage the lock washer that holds on the top slot. But what the problem was I couldn't get the nut off to adjust this properly, but now I can because I air ratcheted it off if you watched the video yesterday. And then I took my thread file, 16 threads per inch. These thread files are great. You must have them if you work on anything with nuts and bolts. Or if you're a nut and you work with nuts. What you do is you just find the right one with the thread pitch gauge, and you just file it away like that. And it cleans up these mangled threads. I'm going to put it on super macro so you can get a better view. I'm going to show you what I did. Look away. Super macro! Wow! This camera does more things than my other one, but it's also much bigger, and it doesn't do that 9-seam gizmo. Anyways, I thread filed that mangled area, and I have no idea how it would have gotten mangled, but it's mangled. I thread filed it for 5 minutes, and then I'll take my special socket. I found something else in my Pilot Tricks Chrome Vanadium. That's all it says. It's a 4-wheel drive Chevy socket. $20. And look at this. After I thread filed it over that really rough area, still a little tight, but travels over it with a little bit of restriction. Not bad, huh? The right tool for the job, but to thread file it, you got to remove the spindle, which means you got to take it all apart. You could do it on the vehicle, but I wanted to change the ball joints. So that's what's happening. I got 2 more things I'm going to show you. Oh, come on. I also had a surprise phone call this morning. I missed the phone, so I keep the ringer on low at night, and I hadn't turned it up. I got a phone call from Dutch Urban Miner, D-U-T-C-H, U-R-B-A-N-M-I-N-E-R, and Google wants to give you 3 names, 3 words, but it's 1 word. Dutch Urban Miner. Look him up. He's a guy in the Netherlands where they grow tulips and windmills and pretty Dutch women. And why can't I get this wrench socket on? What is my problem? Anyways, he called me, so I called him back, not realizing it was a European call, and I'm going to get a phone bill from AT&T for $27 for 1 minute. It's such a ripoff. He might have used Skype to call me or some calling card. I'm not sure. But let me tell you, we get ripped off. I'm sure the phone bill is going to be excessive. And I just spoke for a minute, and he called me back. Yeah, a little rough going over that patch. But I think it'll do. So I'm going to put this back. And I'm going to show you a couple more things. All right. Smoke those tires. Thread file. Now something else I found. I was struggling with this crappy socket that I made by grinding and adjusting. Then all of a sudden I remembered, wait a second. Oh, where did it go? Wait a second. I got a mosquito in here. Got him. Look at that. He's still alive. Oh, super macro. Hang on. Where? You gonna try to sting me? You blood-sucking. You know why I got mosquitoes in here? It was 25 degrees last night, which is Celsius -3. Yeah, mosquito. Gone. All over. You know why there's mosquitoes in here? I'll tell you why. After I find the surprise I was going to show you. Where did it go? Oh! Right here. On my faded paint. Faded. Sandblasted. I gotta put some putty in there. Look at this. I saw some guy on CK5 forum had the specialized tool OTC for sale. $10. So I bought it. Now I've got it. So I made one, but I'm trying to make a video. Jeez Louise. There it is. Alright, I gotta answer the phone. I've got some more stuff to tell you about the mosquitoes. Rusted. Chisel. Alright, I'm coming. So I've popped off the lower snap ring. Yep, lower, because that's the ball joint that has the adjustable sleeve. I've popped off the snap ring, and to do that you need a screwdriver or pliers, or in my case I've got everything. It's just all in a big pile of jumbled junk. This is an internal expanding snap ring. Sometimes it goes the other way, external contracting. You just stick it in the thing and go zoop! It pops off and goes flying and disappears into the pile of junk on the floor. Oregon, Kentucky. Oh man, can't I make a video? So this ball joint just taps right out. Ain't that sweet? Somebody precision machined this 30 years ago. Alright, I'll be back. Where was I? Oop! Ding! Basket! Where'd that seal go? Oop. I'll save it. You never know. Remember when I put some grease underneath the seals with my little injecting needle? Well, absolutely zero got into the ball joint. Not even one drop of grease. See that gray? That's high molybdenum content extreme pressure grease, and not any of it even got close to getting from there all the way over the hump, all the way inside. Not one iota of grease. So that makes me think of the PB blaster that people use. They say, oh, the bolt's all seized. I'll just spray some PB blaster on it and let it sit overnight. That's like taking this U-joint cap and spraying some PB blaster on it and saying, well, that'll just lube itself up and come off in the morning. You know what makes this come off? A big hammer and chisel. That's it. There. I've never seen this before, where the needles are seized right to the cap. And like I said, the only thing that makes that come off is a hammer and chisel. Nothing else. I don't care. You can tell me all kinds of stories of all the miracles that all these chemicals do. And I've got AMSOIL metal protector, spray grease, brake clean, penetrating oil, Super X red grease, metal protector in a big can, brake cleaner, more red grease, white lithium grease. I've got Jigaloo. And I just use them to lubricate things that are already sliding and moving freely. Made in Canada. Distributed by Jigaloo USA of Wilmington, Delaware for Jigaloo Canada Inc. of Quebec, Canada. 1100 Rue de la Condé, Montreal, Quebec. H3K2E3. Jigaloo.com. Made in Canada. Distributed by Jigaloo USA of Wilmington, Delaware. Invisible lubricant. Water repellent. Doesn't stain. Doesn't stink. Avoids squeaks, prevents freezing, avoids sticking, slides better, water repellent, washes better, rolls better, prevents rusting, avoids squeaks. Yep. If you think spraying any kind of penetrant into a rusted bolt is going to make it come loose, 3-in-1 professional new high-performance spray lubricant, liquid wrench cycle and chain lube, WD-40, State pen, 3-in-1. SuperTech white grease. How are your ball joints? I've got lots of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got installer sets. I don't even know what that is. Pulley puller. A pulley puller. Flush and fill. I've got Arctic Freeze. 134A refrigerant. High mileage stop leak. Spike said don't use that. Stop leak and detector. Who needs air conditioning this time of year? Late 70s, early 80s Q-Jet. Quadrajunk. Got mirror. Molybdenum grease, conditioner starter, gasket remover, aircraft paint stripper, no drip. I've got all the chemicals. Electric parts, bushings, filters, more filters. Glow plugs. Maybe I'll put my dash together one of these days. Wouldn't that be sweet? Block heaters, casters, solenoids, distributor caps, welding cable, engine heaters. I've had that engine heater for 30 years. Gauge set for air conditioning, air filters. Van dash of a van that I scrapped 10 years ago. Bushing kits. Fix-a-flat. I've got so much junk. Shrink tubing with glue inside, battery cables with made-up ends, old GM HEI distributors. Check this out. See that brass in there? That weld blob? These cars back in the late 70s, early 80s would ping under light load. They were getting too much advance to try to get better fuel mileage when you're going down the road with light throttle. So I would take the vacuum advance off, just 2 screws hold it in place, and I'd weld some brass into the slide so I wouldn't get as much advance under light throttle high vacuum and stop that bloody going down the road with light throttle. Give it a little bit of gas, the ping would go away. I fixed that problem up. Oh, I gotta put my revolving light on my Blazer. Can you tell I have lots of memory in the camera? What am I down to here? Oh yeah, I got a minute left. Alright, I'll stop talking. Got heat? I do.